Hey guys, what's up? Doomsday just ended for all of us. Even if you didn't place where you wanted to this season, you still get personal rewards, you still get guild rewards, so you should have some Season X cards. I'll tell you exactly which pool to go for and why you should do so. Stay tuned. Hey guys, as I said in the intro, I'll be talking about the Doomsday reward pools. Now, currently, when this video releases, at least as it's being recorded, there might be an error or a bug or something like that. Previously, you used to get your Doomsday rewards. You could go into your inventory, go into others, and then you would see your X Legendary Selection recruitment cards. You could click use, and then you could select the two pools that you wanted. Now, this is from the previous season. I still have these left over. I haven't pulled from these because I was hoping they would have released the two newest heroes, Lust and Retrograder, in these pools, but it looks like they didn't, and even still it's not updated. Now, we can't use them at the moment. Again, this might be a bug or something like that, so I'm releasing this video anyway, so at least you guys are prepared for hopefully when they fix it. It currently says after the season begins, you can choose one type of card. It's not valid during the time between seasons, so I mean, I'm hoping that means we'll be able to use it. Like, I hope that this doesn't mean anything. Otherwise, you can only use it at the start of next season. So in any case, we actually already know the heroes that we're getting. Boom, right here, there's 3 pools. I'm only showing 2, and I'll show the third pool in a minute. But I'm going to go over the value of these 2 pools. Of these 3 pools, and let you know which card you guys should be going for. So the first card is X Legendary Recruitment 1. We have Lust, Retrograder, Cannon, Organic, Kamikaze, Nomad, Betrayed, Sven, and the Wanderer. Now, generally, you're going to get around, like, I don't know, let's just say 5 to maybe 8 Season X recruitment cards. Maybe you'll get a little bit less if you didn't score at all. You'll get at least 2, hopefully, from personal and guild reward. So I would recommend taking into consideration the heroes that you currently have. If you have none of these heroes and you only have 2 cards, then it's not really going to matter. Like, if it's your first season, you just have 2 cards, you have no Season X heroes, you're probably not going to get anybody that you actually want. However, if you have a bunch of these heroes, they're all like 3 out of 4, then that's what we're going with. So, X Legendary Recruitment 1 pool. It's pretty good right off the bat. We have Lust, who's definitely worth a hero to have. Retrograder, who's also a hero that you want to have. Canoness is a hero that you want to have. Organic is a very nice hero. You want to have him. Kamikaze, really, really good hero. You kind of need him at the moment. And Nomad, a hero that you really want. Those are kind of your combat, your base-to-base combat heroes that you need. Lust is a 4 out of 5. Retrograder is a 4 out of 5. Canoness currently is a 4 out of 5. Organic, probably a 3, maybe a 4 out of 5. Kamikaze, 5 out of 5. And a Nomad, honestly, in my opinion, a 5 out of 5 if used properly. Then we have Betrayed and Wanderer, who you really just don't want at all if you get these heroes. I mean, at least you can use them in the Hopeness Lab. And then we have Sven, who you basically need if you want to be competitive in Doomsday in terms of tiling. So X Legendary Recruitment 1 pool, really, really, really strong. There's only 2 heroes in here that you don't want, period. You just don't want Betrayed and you don't want Wanderer. But there's 7 heroes in this pool that you really want, and you're going to use them if you have them. So if all the heroes up top are maxed, then obviously don't go for the card, unless I guess you just want heroes for the Hopeness Lab. Now let's move on to X Legendary Recruitment 2 pool. So we have Prophet, the Huntress, Scarlet Siren, Rose Noir, Crochet, Death Rider, Iron Sentinel, Crusher, and Valkyrie. This pool is a little bit more of like a toss-up. Prophet's a hero who's nice. I'm currently not even using her at the moment. In any of my APCs, this last one is not an APC that I currently use. I just wanted vehicles so I could go fast. But it's not a APC that I actually use. But I'm not using Prophet at all, and not too many people are actually using Prophet in the very, very high tier of the game. Huntress is a hero that a lot of people are using. I use her. I'm not a huge Huntress fan, honestly. I don't think she does that much when you're fighting somebody who's equal strength. So maxed base versus max base. Huntress doesn't do that much, but she's definitely a nice hero to have, and I do actually use Huntress in my 4th APC right here. Normally, I would have a Huntress APC. or something of the sort. She goes well with Predator, but as you can see, I use Predator with Nomad. I think it works really well against vehicles, and vehicles are like the strongest APCs, so it does pretty well in that situation. Scarlet Siren, another hero that I don't use, but you can use her if you have her and you don't have better replacements, so she's all around a pretty decent hero to have. Rose Noir, I don't like her really at all, and I don't use her. You can use her in like Koche, Rose, Nomad. It's an okay shooter formation to block vehicles, but not too many max players are going to be using Rose. If you do get her though, it's okay. You're probably going to use her until you can kind of phase her out. If you use something like Hunk Tracker Nomad, then Rose is kind of useless, but a lot of people are using Predator with Huntress instead of Nomad, and in that case you can kind of mix and match Rose in there if you want. Koche, same thing. Really, you're only going to use him in like a full shooter formation, so not like an amazing upgrade to any base. So not really a hero that you need. Death Rider, the boy wonder. Death Rider is always used basically on every single base. If you have him, you're going to use him. It doesn't even matter if you have other heroes or you have all the heroes, you're going to use Death Rider. Iron Sentinel, pretty much nobody uses him. He's not very good. If you have nothing else, you'll use him. But in terms of Season X meta, he's not a very good hero. Crusher, similar kind of to Rose, where it's like you will use him until you can kind of phase him out. There's just like too many better heroes than Crusher at the moment for Crusher to actually be like useful. If it was like 4 seasons ago, then Crusher would be used, but at the moment he's kind of just sitting on the sideline. And Valkyrie, kind of a similar scenario as Koche and Rose. She's really only there for like either full shooter formations or Valkyrie and a Nomad, which is basically a full shooter formation. So again, similar to Rose. So in any case, we have Prophet, who's probably like a low 3. She's still good. It's just there are better heroes than her, so yeah, and especially that the combos that she would be in, those heroes are used elsewhere, so it kind of hurts her a little bit. So Prophet, I'm just going to give a low 3. Huntress, I'm going to say a 4. She's a pretty good hero, and if you don't have her, you can be a little bit susceptible to some of these damage dealers. But again, she's not going to be somebody who just absolutely wrecks everything unless you're stronger than your opponent. And then you can just throw T10s on Huntress, do the classic Anna Predator Huntress or like Tech Priestess Predator Huntress, and just blow through bases that are weaker than you. So a 4 for Huntress. Scarlet Siren, I'm going to say a decent 3. You can definitely use her, but at the moment she's not really meta. Rose a 2. She kind of is just used until she's replaced, and that's about it. Koche, similar thing. He's kind of just used until he's replaced. Not amazing, not bad, solid. Low 3. Death Rider, 5 out of 5. I pretty much say it every time. Iron Sentinel, low 2. Crusher, 2. And a Valkyrie, kind of a low 2. Similar again to Rose. So this pool is not as good. Really, you just have Death Rider and Huntress. Those are kind of the only 2 heroes that you're going to be like using at very, very high echelon. If you don't have a lot of Season X heroes, though, some of these other heroes are pretty good. So like Prophet, Siren, Koche, even Rose, even Valkyrie. There's no hero in here that's like terrible that you're not going to use. But if like you already have more Season X heroes, there's really no point in going for X-Legendary Recruitment 2. And then something that's new, there's a third pool. There's only 8 heroes, so that's something to consider. The other pools both had 9 heroes, so recruitment pool number 3 has 8, meaning you're more likely to get the heroes in here that you want. We have Wrath, Predator, Shadow, Glutton, Lone Wolf, Heaven's Redemption, Hunk, and the Patriot. Wrath, 5 out of 5, probably the best hero in the game, or second best hero in the game. Definitely top 2, it's like not even close. There's really no counter to Wrath, he's just OP. And he's a vehicle hero, which just makes him even more OP. I'm going to say Wrath is the best hero in the game. You can make a case for Tech Priestess. Go ahead. I'm not going to disagree. But for this sake, Wrath is the best hero in the game. You really, really need him. If you don't have Wrath, you're significantly weaker. Predator, also a really, really strong support hero. She's basically used by everybody. You're either going to use her with Huntress or you're going to use her with Nomad. But in either case, you're going to use her. I mean, you can even use her with Ivan if you have neither of those two. So yeah. If you have no carry hero, I mean, you can even use her with Death Rider. So you can put Predator and then Death Rider in the same combo. Death Rider is going to do more damage. It's pretty solid. And same thing with Hummingbird. You can put Predator with Hummingbird. So if you have none of those carry heroes, you're pretty weak as is, then you might not be using Predator. But otherwise, you're going to be using Predator. Shadow is not really used. He can be used in full shooter formations. So like Shadow, Predator, Nomad, for example, or some other combinations just like that. But for the most part, he's not really used. Glutton's always kind of on the cusp of like, do I use him or do I not? People are still using Glutton with Hummingbird. I actually am still using Glutton with Hummingbird. I do Glutton, Caesar, Hummingbird in my defense queue. It doesn't like win against that many APCs, honestly, but it does either like beat them down because of Hummingbird, or it actually wins if it's like, let's say third in the defense. If it's up front, it's probably not going to do much. So it's not like an amazing APC by any means, but it's pretty solid. Not everybody runs Glutton, and he's kind of only useful for Bird because of his clarity status that he gives her. So he's just kind of on the cusp of like use or don't use. Lone Wolf, terrible. Nobody uses her. I mean, if they don't have to. She's just full fighters. Like, that's it. You would use her something like Prophet, Canoness, Lone Wolf, or something like that, but it's really not recommended. Heaven's Redemption is a very, very, very good hero. His stock price basically just keeps going up. Like I always say, vehicles are just so good right now, so pretty much any vehicle hero is going to do really well. Hunk. Basically only Hunk, Predator, Nomad. If you don't use that combo, you're probably not going to use Hunk at all. So it really just depends. And you don't need Hunk. Like, you can use Shadow, Predator, Nomad, and it's totally fine. You can even use like Koshé, Predator, Nomad, totally fine. So you actually don't really need Hunk at all. He's just kind of like a slight upgrade to some other heroes for the exact combo of Hunk, Predator, Nomad. That's it. And then Patriot, nobody uses him ever. He in combat, he's okay in tiles actually. So you can use Patriot for tile formations with Valkyrie. But it's not like the best. I mean, this is just in the case that you don't have Ivan or somebody like that, and you just have to use another tile formation. Patriot's going to be an okay use for that. So, X-Legend Recruitment 3, Wrath is a hero you super duper need, and he will no longer be in the small pools for super recruitment ticket pulls, so keep that in mind. He's going to be in the bigger pools of, at this point, 6+. So, yeah, that's something you have to consider. Predator, a hero that you probably need. If you have a carry hero, you're going to use her. Heaven's Redemption, a hero that you need. But that's kind of it. The rest of the heroes are all like, you're probably not even going to use them at all. So this pool is tough because you really need Wrath, but it's 8 heroes. You can probably get him in a super ticket pool of 6, hopefully, maybe 7. So yeah, like pretty much the max Season X tickets that you're going to get is around 8. So maybe you'll pull 1 copy of Wrath. But if you have no copies of Wrath, I probably wouldn't go for pool 3. Overall, by far, by kind of a landslide, if you need these heroes, go for Recruitment. X-Legend Recruitment Pool 1. Now, Lust and Retrograder should come out in a small pool of 4 with the new heroes. So if you're saving up your super tickets and you're going to spend about 1,000 super tickets at the beginning of the season, or maybe even 2,000, then you're pretty much going to max out Lust and Retrograder. Lust or Retrograder, rather. So if you only wanted those 2 heroes and you have super recruitment tickets, maybe go for another one of these pools. I would steer clear of X-Legend Recruitment 2 and only go for X-Legend Recruitment 3 if you need Wrath, or let's say Heaven's Redemption or Predator. That's it. Otherwise, guys, X-Legend Recruitment 1 for basically everybody. Okay, that's about it. Like I said, I have no idea if it's a bug, if it's going to be fixed, if we can even use these tickets during the off season, or if we need to wait for the beginning of the season. However, You can use the Doomsday shop for X Legendary Recruitment tickets right here. Again, it's going to say the same thing, so quite likely, I don't know, we might not be able to use it during the off season. You can buy these if you want, and the same principles applies. This pool first, X Legendary Recruitment 1 first, probably X Legendary Recruitment 3 if you need Wrath, Predator, Heaven's Redemption, and then if you just have nothing else to spend it on, go for X Legendary Recruitment 2. It doesn't really matter at that point. So, all right, guys, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it helps. If we get news that you literally can't use these during the off season, that's a bummer, but it's not a big deal. We'll just wait until Doomsday starts again. Usually Doomsday starts 3 weeks after it ends. So basically the end of June. All right, guys, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps. Stay safe. Stay healthy out there. Drink a lot of water. I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.
Wake up, early mornings, late nights, hopping on a different flight. What's the meaning of life, ayy? Wake up, same-ish, different day. Make a wish, call it pray. Am I sick, am I okay, ayy? Stay up